Okay, so let's look at that pile. You're going to look at that and say, oh my, how am I ever going to figure it out? But I'll show you how it all goes together now. I'm Becky. I used to live in the consumer rat race just like you. But one day I had enough, so I sold it all, moved to the country, and built my own log cabin with my own two hands. Now I spend my time discovering new ways to live a simple, healthy lifestyle with more free time and way less stress. Then sharing what I've learned with you. Welcome to Becky's Homestead. Suppose you just bought a new harness and you received it in the mail. I'll show you piece by piece what each one looks like, and then we'll put the whole harness together. This also could apply if you wanted to clean your harness and take your whole harness apart, and then you might look at that big pile and say, oh no, how do I get it back together again? I'll show you. What piece you want to look for first is going to be the headstall, and it has blinkers on it. It doesn't have a bit on it yet. And it also doesn't have reins. Those are all separate pieces when you order it. This is the girth. The girth is just going to have a buckle on each end. And it's going to have these two straps that are hooked to it. Then you're going to find the actual little driving saddle, it's called. It's a little piece. It's going to be padded some way on the underside. This is the breast collar. This is what the donkey or the mule actually pull off of. This is where this goes, and then it pushes in it. It's going to have the strap that goes over the neck. This is what holds it up into position. Then it's going to have the traces. These are the part that go all the way back and connect to the cart. And then you're going to find your breeching. Your breeching and your crooper, they could come apart, but I think most of them would be attached. The breast collar does look similar to the breeching. When you hold the breeching up. They're both about the same size, as you can see. They're both the same thickness, only this goes on the front end around the chest and this goes on the back end around the rump. And then we have the reins. And of course the reins are going to be long. Now that we've looked at all the different pieces that come with your harness, we're literally going to put it together, ready to go. The first thing I'm going to do is add the bit to the headstall. So let me show you that. What I do is I turn the headstall facing out and set it down on the table. Now it might flop over a little bit, but that's okay. Don't worry about that right now. You're going to get your bit and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to turn your bit out away from you. And you're going to set that down on the table as well. This is a chin strap, so don't worry about this little, here, I'll even take this off so it doesn't confuse anybody. All headstalls have the bit loops, the loops that hold the bit on, and they all come down in the middle of the bit. Then you're going to go through the ring towards the outside, and then it loops back up to the buckle. So you want to buckle it looser than you think the animal needs. So I'm going to put it on the second hole. You can make the final adjustment when you're outside and you actually have it on the animal, but just make sure you hook it looser than you think. All right, so I'm going to straighten the bit back up. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Put it in the proper position. I'm going to come down through the middle of the bit, and then I'm going to go through the ring to the outside. And then back up again, loop it back straight up, and put it through the keeper. One thing I do want to tell everybody is, when you put this headstall on your animal, and the blinkers might not be where the eyes are in the proper position, you never adjust that by anything below the blinker. Don't touch the bit loops. That has nothing to do with it. You also don't adjust the bit by anything above the blinkers. All those adjustments are right here below the blinkers by the bit. The blinkers are adjusted. Above the blinkers, there's buckles up here for adjustments. And also at the top. And we can explain that later when we harness up the animal. The next piece we're going to get is the saddle, the little saddle. Again, we're going to always try to face things away from us. The way you can tell the back of the saddle is it's going to have a little loop. So you're going to lay that down on the table, and we'll just flip that back up there. And then we're going to look for the little girth. So you can just set that on the table, and then we're going to get this right hand, move the loops up. You don't really have to deal with those right now. We're going to get the right hand side of the strap of the saddle, and we're going to put it through the girth buckle. And again, you're going to make the perfect adjustment once it's on the animal, because that is how you would want it. You can see this is around, the animal's body would be in the middle here. This would be around, right behind the front legs of the animal. Here's the saddle, here's the little girth, and the two straps hold it together. You don't hook this part, because you just don't need to. You'll do that when you're outside. It's very similar to cinching up a girth for a saddle. Same principle. Okay, so that's together. That's all you need to do for this piece. We're going to set that aside with the headstall, because those two pieces are separate. I have 4 different pieces that I carry out to my donkey when I'm ready to harness my donkey up. You never have it all strung together and it's just one piece that you carry out there. It just doesn't work out like that. The next piece you're going to have is your breeching. Now the breeching, to face it away from you, like I like to do that because it just helps everybody get the idea, because you're going to be sitting behind the animal. This would be behind the donkey's legs, the breeching. That's what the breeching does. This goes around his tail. So this would be up a little higher like that, and his little tail would be coming through there. And then these pieces are going to go forward and attach to the cart, to the breeching staples on the side. All right, your breeching might come with the crupper not attached. So what you would do, you'd see this buckle like this. Like I said, I have the rain keepers, so I'm not going to take it off completely. So what you're going to do is take this piece and slide it through that slot I told you to look for on the crupper, and it can't move. So it can't slide forward or back. It's a little slot. They all have them. Run that through your crupper, and then it's going to come down, and it's going to fasten into this buckle. Of course, mine are already in the perfect hole because I already drive doodles, but you'll figure that out when you take it out to your animal. What I'm going to show you now is the saddle is going to be up here on the donkey. So picture that. We're going in order now, and his little head is beyond us. The part I want to describe to you is this crupper that goes around the tail. Sometimes, usually, because I changed mine, is one long piece of leather that's going to go all the way up to this loop right here. Now what I did, I modified mine to make it so easy. I put this on here, and the ring, I just looped it through a ring, because I can just go clip and I'm ready. Okay, so breeching is rump. The next piece is the saddle, which is behind the shoulders. The next piece is the breast collar, which is around the little chest. This part goes over the donkey's neck, and then you're going to buckle it in this buckle right here. Picture this up here around his little neck, and this part is around his little shoulders. Now, these pieces, these two traces that come back to the cart, are in no way, shape, or form attached to these two loops that are holding the poles. Now picture the poles of the cart, the two sticks that hold it up. These do not touch or interfere with those at all. They're completely separate. A lot of people, when you just look at a cart, they think somehow the poles, which I call the shafts, that's the proper terminology, some people think the shafts that are holding the cart up somehow pull it or have something to do with the movement of the cart. They do not whatsoever. They just hold the shafts up. That's the job of the saddle and the loops. These are the pieces that are the closest to you when you're driving. They will come back and hook to the cart about right here in front of you. These traces are what pulls the cart. They have nothing to do with the loops that hold the shafts up. Nothing at all. We're all set. Let's go outside and hook up Doodles the donkey. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions, please email me and Doodles. Happy homesteading. Bye-bye.